What's up, guys?
A little later on that. Normally I hit it right when that beat drops. Eli had me mics or muted. Happy Monday. Fun day. Veterans Day. So first and foremost, right? Happy Veterans Day to all of you veterans out there and family of veterans that are happy to support their veteran family members. Mm-hmm. Appreciate the support. Obviously, I'm a vet. So here and there, I'll post a couple of things. I think it's important, as a veteran. Sometimes people have, sometimes people kind of go back and forth whether you should post about yourself or show a photo of yourself. I saw a couple discussions, not in my direction, but just a couple conversations I had seen through social media. And ultimately, I think it's good, man. I think it's good to just bring some awareness to Veterans Day or, the Marine Corps birthday. Well, first and foremost.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Listen, a lot of people don't know about that, man.
What?
Marine Corps birthday.
You're dead. Don't tell me that. Well, before I get into that.
Okay, before I'm dead.
I do think it's important to just, just if you were a veteran, be proud of that and show that, maybe it surprises people. Maybe not everybody knows you're a veteran and, just a good support for veterans regardless of what you did when you served. I think it's good, man. I think it's patriotic. I think it keeps a good support structure behind America and what guys do, and, we're pretty safe here, so as far as the trials and tribulations we're exposed to on a global level, we're pretty safe here. So be proud of your veterans. If you're a family member, be proud of yourself to support those family members while they're gone. And yeah, man, I love it. I'm getting better at it as far as just talking about it and showing support toward it. So yeah, after years and years of thought and just contemplating what you feel, I think ultimately it's good, man. And the more people that are veterans that kind of show that out there, man, and maybe someone didn't know you were a veteran, I'm like, oh, man, that guy's awesome. I didn't know he was a veteran. Gives a good positive vibe toward just veterans and still toward that, just that, I don't know, man, just especially the younger youth coming up.
Yeah.
It's still good to have a good support structure behind veterans and our active duty military, and it still should be encouraged as far as if you want to defend your country or go fight, go prove something. All good. I say those separately because I'm partial, but, all good, and I think it should be highlighted. 100%.
Well, and I'm excited for today's episode. So we haven't given the intro yet, but episode 36, I believe.
It is.
And what we wanted to do today, I've worked with Will for the past year and a half, and I've learned a ton, and we've grown a ton together. And, there's so much good shit that we can take away from the military and our veterans and the culture and the work ethic and everything that they live and breathe by. However, one of the rare things is that, Will is one of those people that just lives it, breathes it, and can articulate it. And that's the part that you don't see a lot. A lot of these guys, they do kind of embody, a lot of what's learned out there, but, they don't articulate or they can't articulate it well. So it can be hard for other people to kind of see their perspective and apply those things to their own lives. So one of the things that we wanted to cover today was, I have some questions for Will as far as, just kind of lessons that he's learned, but then some things that I've learned from working with him for the past year and a half that I've applied to business, that I've applied to my life that have been invaluable lessons.
Listen, you also got to shed some light on some things that have pissed you off this year. Or it wouldn't.
Yeah, no problem.
Or, hey, I didn't know it'd be that easy to talk about. It's only fair if you do. And, first and foremost, I want this to be a very productive conversation, but I also want people to understand, like when we talk about inadequacies or shit bags, for lack of a better term, and we think about society or civilian world, listen, there are shit bags in the military too. That is not like some bulletproof place where, now we're in this phase of like thanking veterans for their service and, hey, you're a hero. And I'm not trying to take anything away from anyone because I'm not speaking to anyone specifically. However, being in the military does not make you a hero per se, right? And it doesn't mean that you're locked on and squared away and just ready to go and prepared at all time. Like, no, man, there's people that make bad decisions there. There's people that don't capitalize on opportunities there. There's shit bags there, man. Like, so I want to make that known as well as we kind of go through this is there's extraordinary opportunity in the military, depending on your capabilities and what you choose to do with your opportunities, just like there is nowadays in America.
Mm-hmm.
And are there a lot of things we can take away from it, from my generation, because that's all I can speak to, and what we were prepared to do and whatever may be? Absolutely. However, I just don't want this thing getting taken out of context, and I don't want people just merely idolizing the military as a whole and putting it on a pedestal and thinking that people there aren't human.
Mm-hmm.
They're human,
Mm-hmm.
and they're shitheads. I hate dealing with them there, just like I hate dealing with them here.
Mm-hmm.
So now that that's out of the way, yeah. And again, we talk a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and people are getting there's just a nostalgic piece to SOCOM and different shit, and there's also a not so fun part with working with a guy like me every day. And it's a lot of it, I don't just mean because my standard is so high or whatever, man. Like, there's just things that I go through that I peel away from, that sometimes you're just around for, that I kind of either lean on for support or for stress. And then there's just some things that just aren't fun. So I think we should talk about those as well. Prior to that, you mentioned the Marine Corps birthday.
Yeah.
That's the day prior to Veterans Day. That's on purpose.
Is that always on November 10th?
Is your birthday always on? What's your birthday?
Because like Veterans Day changes.
But
right?
That's Veterans Day.
Right.
That's
right,
not
right.
a birthday. And I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
Got you.
What's your birthday, Eli?
You tell me.
Don't fucking play that card on me, bitch. I got Facebook. Oh, look your birthday up right now. When's your birthday?
So for the record, Will's is October 4th.
Let's use mine. It's October 4th. Always on October 4th?
Yeah.
This isn't Thanksgiving.
You're right. It's a birthday. It's not a
it's-
day of memoriam or something.
It's the.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
birthday.
November 10th.
Bunch of bad motherfuckers.
No
Shared a
doubt,
video with
dude.
you this weekend. You liked
Yeah,
it, right?
I love
Like,
that video. Yeah.
And it sheds some light on
Yeah.
why guys join the Marine Corps, especially guys that chose to join the infantry. It's
Mm-hmm.
completely different than what you might hear from just other veterans from different branches, and we're not going to go there, and I'm having some fun right now.
I'll go there real quick
Okay.
if you don't mind.
Listen, and first and foremost, when we said we decided to have this podcast, we did not decide shit. Eli's like, hey, food for thought. It's Veterans Day. I think I want to talk on these things and ask you a bunch of shit and yada, yada, yada. And I was like, hey, look, man, let's have some fun with it. I don't know his questions. I don't know where it's going to go. He's feeding me whiskey, so I'm guessing it's going to go somewhere fun.
Yeah, we had a big old shot earlier.
That was a double shot, I promise you. And I got some Lenny and Larry's protein Oreo cookies.
And I got
keeping it.
a vape pen on top of that, so we don't know what's going to happen.
We don't know. We might not make it home. We don't know where we're at right now. Neither do you. We're in our dungeon.
Yeah,
That's been undisclosed location since
Yeah.
we started. But you want to go there, so go there.
Yeah, man. So one of the things that, just from learning different branches and stuff, and I'll ask Will a lot of questions. He doesn't share a ton just openly, but unless I ask, and then of course he'll answer me. But that's one of the biggest things, man, that I've noticed and enjoyed most about the Marine Corps is from you and every other Marine that I've talked to. You guys you guys are a different sort of breed in regards to the culture and the respect that you have with the Marine Corps and the history and just everything that culture embodies, more so than I, in my limited experience, have seen across Army, Air Force, Navy, the other units.
Isn't that something?
Is that something that I'm imagining, or is that something you've experienced as well?
I mean, you can't imagine it, right? Like, excuse my full mouth right now.
Yeah,
It's a
we're
bad podcast.
eating
I
food.
think
We just don't give a shit right now. We've been working here all day. We're
it's
just,
Veterans Day,
yeah.
man. Eli's been putting up a sign that looks familiar, looks phenomenal with our Day $1 stuff, and so we're building out another location.
Yep.
For some of our training and whatnot. So forgive me for eating on the job here. Bad podcast.
I'm about to be
Again,
doing it too. It's that vape
Santosh,
pen.
if you're listening, man, you fucking sneeze and snot and all kinds of shit in your mic. So if you're listening, I don't want to hear a fucking thing. No, man, I think everybody's experiences are real for them. So if I'm speaking for myself, there was a reason I chose as a Marine Corps. I didn't choose the Marine Corps to go to college. Matter of fact, when I left baseball and had a buddy pass away, I came home. My dad was a Vietnam and Marine Corps. He was in the Marine Corps in Vietnam, and he'd always spoken about it. I heard stories and different stuff growing up, but he never preached to me, man. He never forced me to be a Marine or any bullshit like that. But when I came home, I was starting to look into some stuff, and I kind of had my mind made up, but I hadn't spoken about it. And he knew I was looking at the military and stuff. And he's like, cool. Well, the Navy's got this. Then, the Air Force has got that. And, some Coast Guard shit and this and that. And all right, cool. Didn't even mention the Marine Corps to me. I was like, the fuck? You don't think I could do it or what? Like, am I not even worth the conversation? And I start looking around. I got to go take my ASVAB test downtown. That's your military test.
Okay.
I don't think I took it in high school, and if I did it was already expired, because I was already out of high school and college and off playing ball. So I had to redo it. Your ASVAB test pretty much is like a written, it's like an SAT.
Okay.
But for the military. It lets them know where you're at education-wise. It goes over like mechanical skills and different stuff. But based off of how well you score, gives you like what jobs you might be open to and qualify for in the military. And if you qualify high enough on your test, you can get what's called a contract guarantee. So they'll guarantee you a spot to go to that school once you graduate boot camp, regardless of branch. Now, if you fail that school, that's on you. They kind of send you wherever. But they guarantee you a spot. So, I do my ASVAB, and very consistent to me, I score high as fuck. Right? Being modest on Veterans Day, I scored high as fuck. And my dad said, hey, who did you go down there? I said, I went down there with the Marine Corps recruiters. He goes, oh, okay. Why? I said, well, I just felt more comfortable, and I knew some of the guys from the high school, and I had recruited. He was like, yeah, okay. And when I went down there, and this is just from my experience, I'm not shitting on any branch here. When I went downtown to MEPS, every guy I ran into that was in a different branch was out of shape. They just looked soft. Like the guys that took me down to do my tests that were the recruiters, and then the Marines that were downtown were in shape. I don't know who they were, but they just looked like they were ready to go. And I'm like, man, that's just going to fit me better. And I wasn't joining for college. I wasn't joining for any benefits. I was just joining. I wanted to test myself, man. When I was leaving baseball, I really wanted to challenge myself and just try to figure out what I had inside.
How old were you then?
20.
20.
Yeah. And so my dad asked me some more. Okay, why'd you go down with them? I told him. And I went over my ASVAB, and then he brought up other branches, because I scored pretty high. I did well. And so he brought up other shit from other branches. Yeah, hey, man, you could do this, you could do that. Pretty much, I could have been an astronaut. Let's just say that, right? If you're watching. I scored high, and he started bringing up other branches. I said, man, I just don't know if I'm interested in that. And he was like, okay, so your mind's made up on the Marine Corps. And I asked him, I said, why didn't you mention that? Like, you haven't mentioned that, and I didn't say it in a negative way. And he goes, look, you go to the Marine Corps to be a Marine, and I haven't heard you say it yet. So when, he's like, when I've heard you talk, he's like, you haven't mentioned college, you haven't mentioned other stuff, but you also haven't mentioned the desire to be a Marine. And he goes, you go to the Marine Corps to be a Marine. So first and foremost, like with my dad, this is what's so cool about the Marine Corps, man. Like, my dad was defending the Marine Corps against his own son. Motherfucker. Right?
That's cool.
And it's like, hey, there's just something about that culture, and it's not about college, it's not about anything else, but I'm joining the Marine Corps to go be a fucking Marine. And he hadn't heard me say I want to be a Marine yet, or speak like that. So he just hadn't brought it up. And I go, well, I think that's what I'm saying. I said, Dad, I just don't know how to articulate that. I'm new to all this, but this is the vibe I'm getting. I've looked at everything you've asked me to look at, and it just doesn't fit me, man. He's like, well, sleep on it and think about that, and just think what that is. And ultimately, that's what it was, man. Like, I wanted what it was inside was I wanted to challenge myself to the ultimate. I just didn't know that meant being a Marine yet. I had to go see what other branches were all about. And this is no disrespect to other branches. So if you're listening, put your pussy away and just listen. All right. This is my pod. This is our podcast. You can get your own podcast and say whatever the fuck you want. So I did that. But he defended the Marine Corps against his own son, man. He wasn't throwing it out there. And it was like, hey, man, that's not why you go. And I promise you, just that much of like my dad speaking like that, started planting a seed and giving me perception on what the Marine Corps is all about. Didn't matter if I was his son or not. You got to earn that shit. And his loyalty to the Marine Corps was going to make sure if I did go, I went for the right reasons, you know? And I remember, so I was getting ready for boot camp, you know, you go swearing and all that shit. And I remember we're downtown because a bus picks you up, takes you to DIA. And I was like, what do you think? You know, how do you think I'll do? Which is probably not not a fair, not a fair question. And my dad's got a, you know, he's my dad, you know, so he's got a different perspective on me. He grew up, you know, he raised me. And he said, well, he says, I think you're going to hate it or you're going to love it. But there's no middle of the road for you, boy. I said, okay. And he goes, it's just a different beast. And he says, if you get around the right people or if you thrive in it, you're going to love it. and if there's people there that you don't respect, you're going to hate it.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, okay. We're hanging out. We're playing some pool because we're hanging downtown after we swore in, and we're waiting for the bus to pick us up and take us to the airport. And then I'm getting ready to get on the bus. And my dad doesn't talk to me much. He didn't hug me as a kid.
Well, we found it.
The whiskey.
That's
I got the whiskey out. Listen,
that's what happened.
Listen, the reason I privately drink White Claw and gluten-free bread in the closet at night is because
roll your jeans up and shit.
My daddy didn't hug me. The fucking whiskey's got me right now. No, I love this story, man, because my dad and I have a super complex relationship, and him and I did not get along for a long time. He grew up with a World War II veteran. My grandpa was in as well, World War II vet, 2 Silver Stars, Bronze Star, fucking hard. But dude, he came home hard. And that was he took that out on my dad. My dad tried to be better than him, which he probably was as far as being a father, but still some disconnects. Anyway, we're over it. We're in a good place. It's all good. This is not a feel bad for me session. I'm just a little buzzed off some whiskey. So you're going to get some truth out of me, God damn it. So he was planting that seed of like, hey, you're just like, dude, I challenge baseball coaches, man. Like if they, for some reason, I had a chip on my shoulder growing up where if you couldn't perform what you were teaching me, I didn't like you. The fat gym teacher complex, right? So anyway.
Was that just always natural?
I think so, man.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, was that natural or...
Yeah, I just don't like you if you're fucking teaching me something, you can't perform it. Now, if you're old, that's different, right? Like if you're physically inadequate because age or something's gotten a hold of you, that's different. If you're just lazy or inadequate, but you're trying to teach me something, I don't like it.
Quick little thing here, that right there, like that's, and we won't go on a tangent. I'll let you finish your story, but this is just note, because we're going to talk about some of the shit that like I've learned from him. That right there, that little trait, questioning authority per se, questioning those who are training you, questioning the people that you're more or less putting your well-being in their hands, right? If they're teaching you something that you're going to be involved in, that's going to have something to do with your future, question who you're learning that shit from. I never used to do that. I used to think, oh, you're in an authority position. Cool. Automatic trust, right? You've earned that position, automatic trust. Nope, not since working at the Will.
Hey, earned? That's such a strong word. Earned. Ooh.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you look at corporate America. Like, for example, when I was working in 24-hour fitness when I first got in the Marine Corps, the fitness training manager, he wasn't the best trainer. He was just a guy dumb enough to take that management position for some corporate America job that everyone hated. I knew 3 other fucking trainers that were phenomenal that had turned that job down so much because they didn't want to get rid of their clients and make less money. Dude, now, the Marine Corps, lead from the front. If you're not the best, you won't lead. I'll get into that later. Now that you got some whiskey in me.
So continue. Sorry.
So I'm continuing. So very early on, so I'm at MEPS, right, which is downtown. You're getting ready to go. And I asked my dad that question. Not a fair question, but he knows me. And he's like, you're going to love it or hate it, man. Like, I know you. You're going to love it or hate it. It's all going to be somewhat predicated upon how well you can mature and the leadership that you get. And I said, okay. So I'm kind of thinking of that. We're playing pool. Then we get called in to go swear in. So I swear in, cool. So, you know, we're hanging out downtown with my mom and dad for a couple hours while we're doing all this. We go back down to the little rec area. We're playing some more pool. My dad's good at pool. It's fun. Then the buses come. The bus comes to take you to the airport to fly to boot camp. And I'm getting on and whatnot. And my dad shook my hand And I told you this story, but I was crying because I'm a little, my dad didn't hug me when I was growing up. When he was shaking my hand when I was going off to boot camp, he said, "Do it right." That's all he said. He goes, "Hey, do it right." Literally, verbatim, "Hey, do it right." Shook my hand. That's it, man.
3 words, man.
That's it.
Yep. 3 words.
But that rang true to me. And my dad was a distinguished shooter in the Marine Corps and extremely accomplished. And I'd never shot a rifle till boot camp, man. My mom was a hippie, and watching The Lion King was like premeditated murder to her. I'm not serious. I'm not joking. In 5th grade, she's talking to teachers about letting us watch that because it's premeditated murder, and just fuck. God
Dude,
damn
you
it.
and I relate on so many levels on that. Like,
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I had to step out of the classroom during Halloween.
Yeah.
Like, and you're 10, 12 years old. Like,
Girls are starting to like you. You're kind of
Dude.
cool. Casper, that movie came out with Devon Sawa.
I couldn't see it either.
I know.
I couldn't see it.
But girls thought I looked like him. I had the part in
Oh,
the middle of my blonde hair. Girls thought I looked like him. I was getting attention.
did, dude,
Then here
yeah.
I am getting embarrassed.
Yep.
Fuck,
Yeah.
Mom. Now look at me.
That's right. Got you used to standing out,
Hey. So anyway, he said, "Hey, do it right." So I guess what I'm getting at, I'm long-winded here. What I'm getting at is let's just talk about culture first, okay? Like just esprit de corps and culture and just loyalty that every good Marine, and I'm saying that specifically because there's shitbags everywhere, all good, but every good Marine holds a standard and a culture and a commitment to the Marine Corps. And my dad held that against me. He held it against his own son. And when I started asking questions, he's like, "Look, if you go here, you go to be a Marine. I don't want to hear a fucking word about your college tuition or whatever the fuck. Or if you get out and you want to use your GI Bill, all good. However, while you're in, newsflash, you're joining during a time of war." Okay, like newsflash. Like,
yeah. When did you join?
0405.
So real time of war, man.
Yeah. So neither here nor, but just the mindset of understanding, like, you're joining the Marine Corps, and I chose infantry. Now, my dad, when I was looking at my test scores and he's looking at that, he's like, going over them with me, and he knows me. I'm his son. I'm blowing him off.
Yeah.
He's going over with me about like all kinds of shit, and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, "You don't want to hear any of this, do you?" And I said, "I don't know." And he goes, "Well, what do you think?" And I go, "Well, I just like elite shit. But in the Marine Corps, if you want to be elite within combat forces, so reconnaissance, force reconnaissance, MARSOC, which wasn't around at the time, but bloomed when I was in, and scout sniper shit, like, you got to come from the infantry. I'm going to get to that in a minute." And he's like, "Okay, so you're going to go to the infantry." And I said, "I think so. I think that's, I said, maybe if I re-enlist, which is like, re-enlisting for more time. I said, maybe if I re-enlist, I'll go do something else. But I gotta be after all this talk about being a Marine and testing yourself and just being a hard motherfucker, right? Like, I can't go to that and push paper. No disrespect, okay? But disrespect. I want to go be a Marine's Marine. Like, I want to go to the Marine Corps for why the fuck you just told me, guys, go to the Marine Corps. I didn't even know we had an admin section. I thought the Navy did it for us. Okay, I'm immature and naive and whatever, right? Like, so after all those talks and just different shit, it's like, no, man, if you're gonna go there, have at it, right? So that's what I said. And he goes verbatim, man. He goes, "Okay, so you want to run up and down hills and scream hoorah all goddamn day?" And I go, "Well, if that's what it takes." And he said, "Okay." So I did it, man. So my first point was just, the standard my dad held me to of, if we're talking about the Marine Corps specifically and how sometimes you see it differently. Because that was your original question, like 19 hours ago. Of, hey, is there a difference? Yeah, there is a difference, man.
Right.
Like, especially for my generation, I'm
Well,
sure.
and I feel it, dude. Like, when you talk about it, and I talk about other people and their experience, like, you just feel it from you, man. It's just a different feeling of your association with that culture than other people who just did different things.
Well, and I think everybody knows it, and I'm not disrespecting any other branch, but per the masses, you don't ever hear someone talk about going to a different branch because, like, they want to be challenged the most.
Yeah.
That's no disrespect to SEALs or other shit, okay? But, like, no, you don't hear that. So yeah, man. So my first piece was like, just the level of respect my dad had for the Marine Corps against his own son, right? Like, hey, you go here to be that. Like, he wasn't fluffing it for me. He wasn't encouraged. Like, it was like, no, man, you got to earn that shit like everybody else. I'm not fucking fluffing this up for you. That speaks for itself, right? I think that speaks for itself as far as that, you know? Yeah, and then for my generation, like joining during the time of war and deciding to join infantry, how do you not have a chip on your shoulder?
Yeah.
How do you not have some pride? I think it's in you know, and in that element, it's encouraged.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like you're going in for those reasons, and yeah, and you know, we got dress blues, bro. Chicks dig dress blues.
They do,
okay? I don't give a fuck, right?
They
it's
do,
just,
man.
That's just part of it. So
Yeah.
I do think, I'm not sure where the pride starts for everyone. That's where a lot of the pride started for me, was when my dad, because I was good at everything I did as a kid for the most part, especially with athletics. And my dad was my number one fan as far as baseball and just different shit, man. He was not my number one fan when it came to the Marine Corps. He was, I fucking talk to you and treat you like everyone else. This is where you're going to go. This is why you're going to do it. You're going to earn it like everybody else. And believe it or not, that actually talked me into it. Now, if I was in a different mindset, it might have talked me out of it, correct? But that's, I mean, think about that, man. My dad is how old? And he's Vietnam era and talking to his own son, but he's not romanticizing it. He's not making it up to get something for himself, right? Like, oh, I can call my son a Marine, and I was a Marine. Now he's gonna be a Marine. It's like,
he's
no,
not
man.
even bringing it up.
Fuck no. This is a big gun club, dude. This is a fucking men's department. Like, it talked me into it. But I think it's because that's what I wanted. And, you know, and then when he said do it right, I knew I had some growing up to do. I knew I had to like learn how to listen, be open-minded, and yeah. But again, man, like, and I'll let you talk here a little bit, and we're gonna get into leadership later on. But as far as like differences, that's where it started for me.
Yeah.
That's where the culture was completely different with how my dad protected it against me. And I'm like, oh, good motherfucker. Now, especially to your dad, right?
Yeah.
Good. Now I'm really going to earn that shit.
Right.
Now I'm going to excel at everything I do. And I was a high shooter out of boot camp. You know, like, I excelled. I had something to prove to myself. I had something to prove to my dad. I had some pride in me, you know, but like, hey, man, in the right environment, that takes you a long way.
Yeah.
In a very coddled environment, you know, you're a bully. Not like bullying like I was putting weak people down. No, I just mean like, maybe bully's not the right word, but intense,
aggressive,
or too much. Yeah, but in the right environment, that type of effort, you know, and wanting to prove something to yourself and to other people at all costs. Right? Like, and take care of your brother. Like, I had some things about me that might have looked like disconnects, but really it wasn't disconnects. I just might have been a little immature, man. I was 20, you know? Well, so when I got there, I realized like, oh no, I don't have any disconnects. These are actually strengths of mine. I've just got to put them in the right theater.
Tune them in a little bit.
And I got to mature a little bit as far as how I express them. That's where you can have some conflict, is how you express some of those tools. That's where you can have conflicts with people, right? And that's what I've worked on.
Perfect segue, man, into kind of one of my first points. So, like I said before in the beginning of this podcast, I've just, you know, I tend to be pretty observant. Like, I'm a more quiet person, but that usually means because I'm kind of sitting back and observing and watching. I am paying attention though, and what you had just mentioned there is one of my first points. And these are in no particular order, but I made a note of 4 or 5 key things that I've kind of picked up from Will and, you know, indirectly from the Marine Corps that I've definitely been paying attention to and focusing on and trying to implement into my day-to-day life. And one of those is being aggressive, right? And like Will said, how you express that is critical, and that takes a lot of practice. But for somebody like me who is more introverted, and, you know, I tend to observe more than I interact with people. You know, the way that I express myself now is definitely like trained, and I've had to kind of, you know, through repetition, get more expressive and extroverted, but I am introvert by nature, and that has helped me in some ways, hindered me in a lot of ways. And just seeing how being a little more aggressive through business, through relationships, and I'll explain what I mean through aggressive, because I don't necessarily mean just intense and in your face. I mean proactive. just getting shit done in kind of an obsessive manner. So, for example, you have a new relationship, right? With a, let's just use business partner, for example. You've got a new relationship and you meet someone on a random encounter at a night or at a networking event. The next steps are critical because a week passes, they fucking forgot about you. And if you had a good connection with somebody who's somewhere you want to go or someone that could help you get to where you want to go, you need to fucking be on that. And that's something I used to just have a little more slack in my day-to-day, just getting shit done, right? And I'd still get shit done, but kind of on my timeline. After Will, I'm like, man, like those things are literally seconds. After we met that person, they're getting a text message. Hey man, good to meet you, blah, 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 blah. Hey, next steps, blah, blah, blah. Let's do this. Like just being aggressive. And that's just one example, but just aggressive in kind of everything that you do with your business. I'm sure Will can talk about that a little bit.
Well, we're assuming I'm aggressive. Is that?
I think that's, let's just, for the sake of the conversation, let's assume that Will is aggressive.
Yeah. Well, okay. And here, so when we talk about leading from the front, and like the Marine Corps encouraging like small unit leadership, you also have to be extremely proficient. So I think when we talk about being more aggressive, I think a good word for it as well is confident.
Yes.
Like when you know some things should be happening, but they're not happening, but everybody's kind of like waiting around for someone to make sure it starts happening. Mm-hmm. If you're looking around waiting for something to happen, look at yourself. Make that shit happen. Let's get fucking going, right? Mm-hmm. However, at the same time, you know, like you've got to have confidence in your ability or it's going to be super hard to speak up. And you might speak up at the wrong times, like good initiative, bad judgment. So, you know, first comes proficiency. So like with you and I running real estate, we kept our mouths shut for a duration of time. We proved the business model. We proved that we could be successful. We proved that we could not only, you know, sustain whatever we were doing, but we could duplicate this model and teach other people. Then we start opening our mouth once we hit top 1%. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So let's not get this taken out of context about people being confident and or being aggressive or assertive and like take charge. Don't be a fucking idiot. Okay. Like there's a lot of thought process, you know, and for those of you that are thinking like infantrymen, right? Like the smartest people I've ever met are infantrymen and infantry platoon commanders. And there's guys, man, that could have very easily been in Ivy League schools, but just have like an adrenaline niche to them and just want to go fuck shit up. So they decided that route, but they're extremely brilliant, right? Yeah. Like we talk about Tosh a lot, you know, and I'm not going to get into his story. It's not my place to even speak on that. And it's disrespectful and I won't do it. What I will say is he's like a mechanical engineer. What the fuck? What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Okay. But he was
an dude,
but he was an infantry platoon commander, company commander, and division schools director, extremely brilliant, just chose that route. Like, so let's not mistake brilliant people just because they have a certain role. And it's one thing to, you know, to be able to execute. It's another to be able to execute under pressure. Right. So I guess for like the civilian world, it's one thing to have a scheduled operation. If you're a doctor, right, you're going to operate on someone's knee and you get to induce them and put them out and they're on the table and okay, and then we're going to start doing the knee. It's another to be like, you know, like a stage 5 hospital emergency room doctor where you're going to get whatever's thrown at you and people are dying on their way in, right? Completely different than scheduled surgery. Not disrespecting any of them, but I think to just give some relevance to people as far as like the amount of intelligence that's behind conducting war, preparing to conduct, and just how complex it can get. It's not easy at all. I think a lot of these guys just had that. They're just adrenaline junkies and they just have that to them. You know, like they need some of those unknowns and they thrive in that. You know what I mean? But when it comes to like being assertive and being confident, when I started speaking up to you about that, that's because I saw it in you. Like, hey man, you know what you're doing? Like you and I would have conversations about some of our agents and you would call it to me. You would you'd be right. But you hadn't said something. I'm like, hey man, you're seeing the right things. You're just not having that conversation to speak up to them. So what's important about this conversation, what's important about my experience in the Marine Corps is like, yeah, they super promote small unit leadership and they super promote being assertive and being assertive and taking action and hey, follow me and leading from the front as long as you know what the fuck you're doing. Yeah. Because if you don't, then you're going to have a different conversation. And you should probably shut your mouth and maybe listen more until you do know what you're talking about. So, yeah.
Well, and it's
100%.
it's really let us get shit done, man. Like, if we have an idea, we'll mull on an idea for a week max. We'll talk about it, pros, cons. Is it worth our time? Is it not worth our time? If all signs lead to yes, if most signs lead to yes, dude, we're fucking taking action and shit's getting done. Like, we move at an aggressive pace.
Yeah.
We really do.
Well, and I love how you give credit and say most signs. If we got one sign, two signs, right? Yeah. And that's where like your experience and your intuition of like the battlefield of business, as you get better at it, you don't need 95% signs to take you in a certain direction. And, you know, like with the Marine Corps, man, you're undermanned, you're underfunded, and you got older weapons. Like, there was no perfect plan.
See, and that's
like,
some day $1 shit right there, too.
If we had something that was 95% solid, it would probably throw me off. I'd probably wonder why the fuck it's so prepared. And I'd start thinking, like, Illuminati's in on this, and they're trying to, like,
too
get my
perfect.
attention.
It's a trap.
What the fuck is this?
Right.
This is too late. This is on a platter. This ain't right. It'd
yeah.
probably throw me off. I don't know, but you're right, man. Like, you know, people do want that perfect plan. You know, like Mike Tyson has a great quote, right? Like, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Man. He's correlating that to fighting. You can correlate that to the battlefield. You can correlate that to business. That's a quote that correlates to everything, man. Like, but what he's really saying is you can't replace the fight. No matter how hard you train, no matter how conditioned you are, no matter how great you look, no matter how confident you think you are, no matter how many people are showing up to the fight for you, no matter how many followers you got on Instagram, until you're punched in your face and you find it within yourself on how you react to that and how you adapt to your circumstances, none of it really matters, right? So, and what that means is, like, at some point you got to get in a fight, right? Because you're going to find out a lot about yourself, and you're going to find some things out about that battlefield that you're not going to know until you start it. So if we're talking business, there are some elements in business, the battlefield of business, that you're not going to find out until you dive down whatever rabbit hole you're going. So let's use this podcast, for example. We decided to make a podcast. There were things that we started to learn, and there was things that unfolded, okay, that we could not have predicted prior to. It's just the nature of the beast. Some things unfold in real time. Same thing with any other battle, man. Like, when we're building a team, you know, as much as I was experienced as a leader and was prepared, there were certain things with our team that unfolded that you just can't prepare for, right? That you have to kind of like improvise, adapt, and overcome in real time. And that's why your fundamentals are so important, because if you're fundamentally sound, you can act and react to whatever's going on in your battlefield. If you try to sketch everything out to be perfect because you've never done it before, the second something different happens than you've written in your plan that you've accounted and planned for, you're fucked. And guess what? It's gonna happen, man. Like, fuck, man. Like, you can apply that to anything, dude. So there is rhyme and reason behind, you know, like, and I don't like percentages. I hate them. But when they say, like, hey, an 80% plan now is better than a 100% plan tomorrow, because it might be too late. So if you guys are living in quiet despair, or you've got some great plan that you want to execute as a side gig that you eventually want to be a permanent gig, or whatever it may be, you know, are you paralysis by analysis? Like, are you over planning? Are you waiting for, like, that perfect sign? Like, dude, just get fucking going, right? Hey, you got your weapons, you got your ammunition, you've got some fundamentals, and you've got a game plan, and people understand what the mission is. But prior to going out there, cool, you got your nuts, you need those, cool. Rock and roll, man. Like, figure it out as you go through. But again, dude, like when Mike Tyson talked about that, like, it's true, man. There's just gonna be things about a fight that you can't duplicate in sparring. You just can't. And there's gonna be things about life that you just can't duplicate. You just got to go through them, you know, and I think that's also an important lesson, man. So to long-windedly answer your question, like, it is good to be assertive and confident and take charge and all that stuff, as long as you've put the time in, and as long as you know what the fuck you're doing. If you don't, then you've got to give yourself more time under the gun. That is not an excuse to not get started. So if you're new at an endeavor in entrepreneurship, no, get started. Just keep it to your fucking self. Don't be a leader. Don't go hiring a bunch of people under you. Okay, like, just be. So for example, let's correlate this to real estate, because that's what we can speak to. Just be an agent. Go join a team or be an individual agent and figure your shit out before you go telling everybody what to do, because you haven't gone through any of it. So how can you speak to it? You're going to be speaking hypotheticals, or you're going to be conjuring some idea up in your head that you can't speak to, and you might be giving the wrong answer. And you might be flip-flopping it, right? Like good initiative, bad judgment kind of thing. Like, yeah, man, it's great that you have the initiative to answer someone's question. Bad judgment because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. So stop it.
Yeah.
It's a big deal, man.
It is.
Big deal.
It is. Communication, man. Let's talk about that a little bit. So again, this is an area that, being a more introverted person and having too much faith in other people, I naturally neglected. And this is not only with people that I worked with, but with my wife, with my parents and my family. And this goes to like business, but then also like emotionally. If you feel something about somebody, telling them that you do, right? Taking that extra couple minutes when your mom's on the phone and she does that, phone call that's annoying once a week or whatever, taking those extra few minutes and telling your mom how you feel, telling people that you care about them when you care about them, right? And then with our team members, with people that we work with, it's once you're in the industry, once you're confident in what you're doing, it's easy to foresee, hey, where could this go? If you're paying attention, where could this go well? Where could this go bad? And just trying to think 10 steps ahead and do that damage control up front before there's any fires, right?
Now that I'm done smacking my Oreo, my protein Oreo.
Yeah, Lenny's and Larry's.
Lenny's
the complete
Larry's.
Oreo.
Not that they're a sponsor,
Too
but
crunchy,
hey,
by the
Lenny,
way.
if you're listening, what's up, bro?
Shit's too crunchy.
Listen,
Yeah.
subjectivity. When you use the word bad or you use a word, you don't want to hurt someone's feelings. This is subjective, and this is subjective to people's environment. With your mom, you're going to have to shut up and listen to that one. That's a loaded
No, I mean, like, giving her extra love. Like,
oh, yeah.
if she's calling you and you're feeling,
Yeah,
to
cool.
give mom extra love.
Keep mom out of it. Mom gets love.
Right.
Now, and I could be better at that too. Now, I don't want to hurt someone's feelings, or this could go bad. When we're in the Marine Corps and you decide to join during a time of war, we're the opposite. If I don't tell you, you could get someone killed, yourself killed, me killed. So if I don't tell you, something bad is going to happen. You guys are thinking, if I tell someone about their business, that could hurt their feelings, or this could go bad. When we're training, if I don't tell you what you're fucking up, you could get yourself or someone else killed. And then, this could go bad. It could go real bad. But you guys keep thinking here. So if you can see me on the podcast,
Dude,
I'm thinking like right in front of your face, like you don't want to hurt someone's
surface
feelings.
level.
But when it's life or death and you're training for that, I don't care about your feelings. I care about you coming home to your family. I care about me coming home to my family. So it's like, if I don't tell you where you got to get better, something backing up. Now here's where it's different in my element within the Marine Corps and everyone else in society per se. I'm speaking, that's a blanket statement, not saying everybody else in society is weak, so don't take it the wrong way. It's the recipient, okay? So as a leader, if you're giving a Marine direction that's going to protect him and his life and other Marines' lives so we can all come home, he's much more receiving of that direction, of that critique. Versus in society, like camaraderie is forged in adversity, right?
Got that written down too.
And like when you're training scared, we talked about that in the last podcast. Yep. If someone's got advice for you that's going to make you better, you don't care if they say the word fuck or shit or cock.
Nope.
You're taking in the advice because you're like, yeah, great, Sarge. Whatever I can do to keep my ass and other Marines alive, give me more, please. Like, I could give a fuck how you say it. I got to learn. So the recipient is a huge factor during our era, during the culture of the Marine Corps, like of how well they receive it, right? Versus in society, for the most part, like we're free and we're safe. So if you're trying to tell someone how to improve their business and now they're thinking whether they like how you say something or not, right? Like I kicked somebody out of our office not too long ago. Verbatim, get the fuck out of my office, right? Because they were asking for advice and I was giving it and they didn't like what I did. They wanted a pity party and I didn't give it to them. I was giving them what they asked to help them with their business, and then said person was like, well, can't this? And I go, no. And then she goes, well, can you at least not cuss? And I go, no. Like you can't, like you're not on this team.
Yeah.
You are completely outside of our business and I'm here helping you. and you came in here originally popping off, talking about being a top producer and all this cool shit you're going to do. Then you freak the fuck out because you're not doing that, and you come ask for help, and I still help you. No, like if I'm talking to him, like, hey, you got to fucking worry about this, and I'm not cussing at you. I'm just cussing because that's my vernacular sometimes. And you want me to alter my language for you after you came in popping off, tooting your horn in our office.
Asking your advice.
Now you're dying, and I'm trying to help you
Specifically asking
out.
your advice, not just bragging, but saying, what should I do in this situation?
Yeah, and I wasn't pointing a finger and cussing at that person. I was chalking up an idea.
Yeah.
She wanted me to coddle her and pat her on the fanny as far as what was going on. Like, no.
Yep.
Hey, you're dying. Your business is bleeding out. We got to fix it. I started chalking up a game plan to fix it. She didn't want to hear that. And most of coddled corporate America, as much as they say they want to hear that, they don't want to hear that. And then she's like, well, can you at least not cuss? Fuck no. But again, right? Like, we're not life or death here.
Yeah.
So that's where people's minds go, man. Like, the entitlement and the safety we have here is just, so again, when we're talking about this question, a lot of contribution goes to the person on the receiving side. And then guess what? The person on the receiving side, once they get better and then they become a small unit leader, they're now also delivering a good message. So it's a domino of good messages versus entitled people that are free and safe and have safety nets to fall back on that can't fucking hear.
Here's the thing, though, that people, us civilians, recipients, you guys need to fucking realize it is life or death. It is life or death.
Not if you can go home to mommy.
But listen, people just, you don't have that safety net. And if you do, guess what? It's 3 months. If you don't go about your business as if it's life or death,
get rid of it. No, some people have a safety net of parents or a trust fund or a spouse. Listen,
get rid of that shit.
Don't get rid of your spouse. Don't take that out of context. Get rid of your reliability on your spouse.
Yeah.
Like when I talked about living in that basement, man, like I burned the ships, dude. I got rid of everything and I was living in a fucking Y2K pantry. That's on purpose.
Yep.
Burn your ships, man. Don't allow yourself to have a safety net because the way you take direction, the way you take critique, your work ethic, how motivated you are, like it's going to be altered because of that safety net versus this is do or die for me. So yeah, I try to recreate that type of scenario within my work ethic and my scenario because I know I'm successful in that element. I know I'm going to come out on the right side of it, man.
Dude, and that's how maybe more people have safety nets than I think or something, but I mean, that's how I've always felt that way about business.
But you haven't thought about a safety net of I could always get a real job. You're not thinking that. Okay, so when we talk about safety net, dude, it's not just a spouse or a trust fund or parents paying for you. I get that. That's few and far between. However, maybe you have a college degree. Maybe you've got some experience in the work field, and we're in America. You can always go get a 9-to-5 job. And if that's in the back of your head, safety net, okay?
Yeah,
like
that's a good point.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Did you take the last fucking Oreo?
The thing's empty.
What's in your hand?
Nothing. I wouldn't knowingly take the last one. I'm not saying I didn't take the last one, but I
died.
would say I
You
wouldn't
almost
knowingly
died.
take the last one.
Almost died on live broadcast. But you know what I'm saying, right? Again, like even a safety net is subjective. Like even you and I are limited in what we think might be a safety net.
Yep.
Being able to go get a day job is a safety net.
Yep.
Right?
Treat your business like life or death, guys. You're not gonna care if someone's cussing at you, giving you advice. You're gonna listen.
It depends on where you're at.
Yeah, it's true, man. All right. I like this one. Well, we kind of talked about this one. I'll touch on it again because I think it's important. Not shying from adversity / confrontation.
Say that again.
Not shying from adversity.
Not shying from adversity.
Yeah, and confrontation.
Okay.
And
What's
then I
the
have a side
question,
note.
though? That's a statement. Like, what's your question on that?
I just
like,
have
how
a
to
side
not
note.
shy?
Camaraderie is fortune adversity. So the necessity for adversity, like going through as a team and just going through shit together and firing people when maybe it's like kind of subjective. It could go either way. Maybe they didn't do anything terrible, but they're not a right fit for the team. Fucking firing them, right? One example.
Yeah.
And then just confrontation. We had kind of already talked on confrontation.
We can talk about it again.
But just how essential it is to have those conversations. And for me, I was scared to conflict with people, right? I was easy. I was kind of nice and to get along with, and Eli's kind of easy, right? But again,
Super
people
easy.
liked me. But
Fucking gummy worm.
But then I did start questioning myself prior to being in business with Will, and this is why I think it's part of why I conjured him up, is because
For those of you that don't know, Eli takes entire credit for me because he prayed for me.
I
So
do.
apparently I'm a fucking alien sent to the planet to save Eli, and my sole purpose is saving Eli.
Well, I knew I wanted to be tested as well,
Yeah.
right? I did, and I knew that I was a nice guy, and I knew that people, would talk to me, and I knew I was having some sort of impact or influence on people, but I also thought it was because I was just easy to be around, right? So that was a big question, which also meant I shied away from having difficult conversations with people, and I was too afraid to hurt their feelings. Until now, working with you, just getting the reps in, I realized, oh, hey, it's actually not that tragic of an outcome
No.
ever. Secondly, you're doing that person a disservice by not speaking up and telling them how you feel. And if you are in a position of leadership and you're coddling too much, you're doing them a disservice. You're not doing your job. You're hurting them by trying to save them.
Well, 100%. So let's just tackle confrontation real quick. People's threshold for confrontation is a fucking joke, okay? Like, the second someone doesn't agree with them, that's labeled confrontation.
Yes.
That's a fucking joke,
Yes.
first and foremost. You see that in politics. Well, they got other agendas, too. Let's not go political. They've got other agendas within politics. But even as simple as like, hey, hon, where do you want to go for dinner? I don't know. Conflict. Or, hey, we should go here. I don't really like that place.
Yep.
Well, all right. Well, you pick. Like,
Yep.
People's threshold for, like, you got to piss me off. And in addition to pissing me off, it has to not be productive to be conflict. But when we see things differently, that's a good thing. I need you to see the different. I need you to look at our business through a different lens. And I need to look through it through my lens. And then we got to talk about it. And then we're going to disagree on some shit, not because we don't like each other's values or morals or work ethic or approach to business, but it's because we're just seeing things through a different lens. And then when we communicate, usually it's a blend of both. There's a way to do both, and that's called teamwork, right? So now as far as this one, I don't know how to take credit for that, because when I was, joining the Marine Corps during a time of war, man, like, adversity was in front of us. So from boot camp on up, they were training you for the inevitable.
Well, that's real adversity.
Well,
Not, hey, I think
That's
we should have
subjective.
coffee together, and then no.
well, true.
Not that
I know what
adversity.
you're
Yeah,
saying.
but real adversity.
This is all just going to boil down to mindset and how you approach your business, man. Like, you can either approach it serious and treat everything like it's serious and take initiative, do your best, or I guess go fight a war until you figure it out. Then until you have a taste for it. I don't know, but I didn't like self-initiate conflict and adversity. Like, it was kind of like just force fed to us because of the timing, and we didn't have a choice but to overcome it. So that one, I was kind of like, you're thrown to the wolves, but you've got a lot of direction and leadership behind you that's going to help you. But I knew I was joining during a time of war. I just didn't know how much, how many disagreements or conflict and communication would happen to the level, you think people might understand something. The level of disconnect, depending on how you decide to communicate, is ungodly, right?
Really?
Like, yeah, because you have a lot of people trying,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
people can easily misunderstand something.
Yeah, I
like,
gotcha.
So the way to be like super, just fundamentally sound like when you're giving clear and concise direction, there's an art to that. If you're too wordy, which I get wordy on the podcast, but giving orders or direction, that's a little bit different, right? And then having someone repeat it to you so they understand and they picked it up, that's different, But for me, that's, when we're talking about things we take away from being a veteran and what do I apply to, I've never really unlearned that, man.
Yeah,
Like, that's
yeah.
just been stamped in me for so long. Now I do it. And, now I have a family, right? So how's my son going to eat? That's adversity. Like, if I don't communicate and work things out with Eli and get better and level up, what's my son's future look like? So I've been able to just transfer that energy into a different direction, into a different, into a different environment. But I don't remember like initiating that. It just, man, it was so forthcoming from the time that I decided to join. It was coming whether you liked it or not, man. But I did learn how productive conflict can be.
Dude, it can.
And I
man.
learned productive conflict. It's okay when people disagree, as long as you're being productive and you're not talking over one another or calling each other a piece of shit or what, like, right? Like, it's okay to be passionate. It's okay to disagree. Like, you just have to let one another talk. And you've got to let different sides come out. So as much as you're trying to convey, you're also receiving their perspective.
Yeah.
So you can speak on it. So I think a lot of times, man, it's not so much the conflict that's a problem. It's just people's immaturity. And don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. You know, like Kate will tell you. Okay, sometimes I talk over her. I'm not perfect. But I think for the majority, it's not so much the conflict that's an issue. It's good that we see our relationships, that we see parenting, that we see business from a different lens than our business partners or other people. It's how we choose to handle it. That's the bad part.
And
right?
I think like asking more questions too, because in reality, like you said, most conflict isn't actually conflict. A lot of it is just a misunderstanding or something. And what I was terrible at, and I think some people are too, is just if you don't understand something, and like, let's say you're at the bank, right? And they're explaining to you a charge that's on your bank account, right? In the past, I just would have been like, okay, whatever, right? Now it's, hey, I don't understand what you're telling me. Can you explain that differently? And then guess what? Usually it's some fucking bullshit. If they can't explain it.
Or when you talk about firing people, you know, like, oh, like that's hard. Yeah, but it's all going to boil down to their morals and their ethics and how they choose to conduct business. And it has nothing to do with how many deals they do. It has everything to do with who they are as a person, you know, because those people are cancers, man. And like that type of behavior, you know, can bleed off in other people, which can infiltrate your entire team. And then everyone can be a cancer. So, you know, but again, I do think like being able to pull the trigger on firing someone, it does come from experience. It does come from having some intuition and just being very emotional, intelligent, and just being able to read people. And I run my mouth. I get it, right? I watch and listen and pay attention. And when I say listen, I don't mean when you're talking to me, by the way. I look at your social media. I drive by your open houses. I look at how you talk to other people. Everything, man. Like when I say I listen, I don't just mean when you're talking to me. That's what most people think. It's everything. I listen and watch and adhere to everything that you do. So I feel as a leader, I just have a great perspective on who you are as a person, because when I'm speaking to you, who you are as a person is going to dictate a lot of those things, you know. And again, I think those are important. I think understanding that cancer cell growing is important. And I do think people overanalyze the hiring process, right? Like you're only going to know someone so much. They're at their best behavior, yada, 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 right? Yeah, you're right. Everyone calls that. But then for some reason, they have a hard time firing. Why do you put so much pressure on yourself to save someone or keep someone if there's character flaws, right? And if there's character flaws, like if you're a liar, certain things. But let's use that one for an example. If you're a liar, that's a character flaw. You're gone, because I can't trust anything you say. And if you're out representing clients and you're saying one thing, but evidence is showing another, and like, hey, man, not only are you representing yourself, but you're representing me as a leader, and you're representing this team. So if you're a liar and I can't trust your word, hey, man, that's a problem. That's a character flaw. You're gone. And I'm not going to beat myself up because I didn't know that when I hired you. I didn't know anything when I hired you. There's only so much you can see when you hire someone. It's going to be how well you assess them once they're hired. How well are you paying attention, and how well are you assessing them to make sure that when it is time, you're super confident and assertive with that, you know, and you get rid of them. And remember, the flip side is, have you done everything as a leader to set them up for success? Because if they don't know something, or if something got confusing, those things fall on you as a leader. If you're not clear and concise, or if someone isn't understanding, whatever it may be, those things fall on you as a leader. But if there's character flaws, right? If they just can't be prompt and on time, or if they're a liar, or if they do shady shit to get a deal done, that's character flaw. If they're not applying some of the tools that you've created because they don't understand them, or you haven't given enough time to teach them, that's where it falls on you. So anything other than a character flaw falls on you as a leader, you know. But when you do see those character flaws, I do see a lot of, you know, leaders in corporate America trying to fix those.
Well, you know why? Because, and this is segues to my other point. We're doing a great job with that today.
How just
doing a great job with that.
Whiskey makes
it does
see the future light.
So what happens there, obviously, when someone gives the okay to hire someone out of their company. A lot of the hesitation to letting them go, even when they feel it's right, is they're admitting that they made a mistake. They're admitting that they hired the wrong person. Now, someone who is
so dumb.
Someone who is mission focused, which is my other point. If you're staying mission focused, you're not going to give a fuck if you are right or wrong about hiring somebody when you're putting the mission first, correct?
Well, yeah. I mean, if we're gonna take it to that level of like this guy could get someone killed.
Well, and I mean, your company is success. Like the mission of the company, the mission of whatever your mission is right now.
That's like in relationships, right? Like, man, like you decide to date someone, but then come to find out, like they like having sex with your cat. I don't know,
some weird shit.
And now you're like gonna stay with this dude because you don't want to admit that like you made a mistake. Like, listen, you didn't make a mistake. Okay, like you didn't know him. Like you knew enough of him to give it a shot. Okay, and believe it or not, like in the like with Kate with her job when they first hired her on, there was like this 6-month contract. She was not a full-time employee. They liked her. Like, cool, so we're going to sign this, and you're going to be here for 6 months, and then we're going to assess it at the end of the 6 months.
It's like probation kind of.
So, not probation, but just we don't have to, you're an independent contractor kind of thing. Like, I don't know if it's independent contractor, but we have a contract with you for this long. Which
you're not
means,
getting married. You're going to go on vacation together, but
which
you're not
means like,
married,
hey, if you're not what we think you are, we're just going to let you go at the end of the 6 months. All good. So there are some industries that are kind of understanding and adhering to that. So if you hire someone and come to find out they're a liar, whatever it may be, like, it's all good. You didn't make a mistake. You only know so much of someone. Where you're making a mistake is understanding once they're hired, and you're paying attention to them, and they're on the job, and you're seeing some things, and you see character flaws, and you don't assertively make a decision. That's where you're making a mistake. It's not a mistake that like you hired them. It's a mistake that you identify it, and then now you're not getting rid of them. Problem, right?
So that's the problem is the people, the leaders per se, whose mission is to be right. If their mission is to be right,
but you are right,
they're gonna feel bad.
So your
about
mindset's
that.
just off. Like your expectations that you've put on yourself to fucking know someone when you hire them to the point that they should be golden and never fired. Like, no, man. Like that's not the expectation of hiring someone. So when you find a character flaw, that's when you're right. Hey, found it. You're out of here, man. Hey, good job. You didn't fail. You're right. No, I failed because I hired him. What? No, like you needed this time to see who they were as a person, man, like before you know. So I think just the expectations or just where your mindset is on when you're hiring, like what you think you're doing when you're hiring is probably jaded, man. It's off. You're off.
And some more to tie into staying mission focused. That doesn't mean staying vacation focused. That's not staying weekend focused. That's not staying till you get home at 5 o'clock and can turn on the game and have a beer focused. That's mission focused.
Yeah.
What's the objective, right?
We're not even going to fucking talk about that. Dude. I'm not saying don't take vacations, but this is all mission critical. This is all like success in your business. Like, look, you got big boy pants on. Take a vacation when you want. I'm not going to speak to you on it, but no, I'm also not going to address like how you can stay focused on your vacations. It's just probably
and the same with weekends, man. If there's some people living for the weekend, man. Oh, fuck, it's Monday tomorrow. God damn it. Oh, shit, it's Thursday night. Let's go to happy hour. Oh, it's Friday. Hell yeah, weekend's here.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them. Yeah. Hey, if that's you, fuck you, man. I'm not having it today. It's a good day. It's a good day, and we got some whiskey. Fuck them, man. I got no space for you. I don't, and it's not big. Look, I don't hate you as a human. Close. I just don't have a tool for you because if you want one thing but say another like that, I don't have a tool for you. If if you're fat as fuck but you won't go to the gym, I don't have a tool for you. If you're fat as fuck and you won't go for a walk to just get, I don't have a tool for you. If you are listening to this podcast and you're an entrepreneur and you want to grow and scale and whatever you're on here for, but you're focused on prioritizing weekends or vacations, look, I just don't have a tool for you, right? So fuck off. Find something else, man. Like, no disrespect. I just wholeheartedly know I'm not your guy, man. I'm not your fucking guy. That's not how we do it. Yeah.
And then my last point, and then I'm sure you've got some stuff to wrap up.
I don't, man. I'm waiting to hear. I've been this whole time. I've been waiting to hear the shit that has been not fun for you. So we'll get to that at the end. You go ahead and
Dude, honestly, I mean,
no,
before we get
hey,
there,
fuck that.
no, I want to
Fuck
finish
that.
on this one. This is a good one to finish.
No,
on.
I want your last. Oh, you want to finish?
I want
on
to finish
that.
on this one.
Oh,
But
boy.
but with what you're saying, dude, I mean, honestly, like anything that I've learned or anything difficult has just been around all of these things and changing my mindset and my perception of, where focus.
You're so
and
politically
priorities
correct.
should
Like if we
be.
were in an interview right now, Eli, and I'm like, Eli, what's your biggest downfall? I think my biggest downfall is that I just work too hard and I take myself too serious and I always want to do a better job. I'm never satisfied. That's fuck you.
I would say the hardest part for me, probably working with you in the past year and a half, has been
Careful.
the communication aspect. You communicate 1,000 times more than I would ever communicate.
Yeah.
And more than anyone I've ever worked with has ever communicated.
So, let's go a little bit deeper because I knew that was going to be it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know everything. Eli. It's not just a communication, but it's the reasoning behind me saying something, right? And sometimes it's frustrating because I've always got something to say that can go deeper. And when you and I first started, we're still first started per se.
Yeah.
There's a lot to say in the beginning, and it feels like you're always doing something wrong because and it's like, no, not really. We've just got a lot of you and I got to get cohesive. Right. But again, it's like if I'm thinking 10 cents ahead or if I'm mentioning something, it's the why behind it. It's not so much like. And the hard part for you sometimes, and I'm forecasting here, speaking for you, there might not be anything wrong. I'm seeing, hey, if we continue to coddle this person, if we continue to do this, hey, if we continue to do that, here's what I think is going to happen 2 quarters from now. But when everything is going
it
good,
fucking happens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, then you're fucked, right?
And
you're
it fucking happens. It does. 100% of the time.
It does. But it's because of my experience with that, right? So, but as far as the communication, I think it's fair to the audience, right? Like when you say that, it's not so much you and I talking back and forth. It's like when things are going good and you don't quite have that. Like normally when people communicate, it's reactive, not proactive.
Right.
I'm very proactive. I'm very try to see as much as I can within reason. So sometimes when I've had things to say to you, you don't have anything on your palate that went wrong to fucking taste.
Yep.
So I'm speaking hypotheticals to you in your mind, because you're like, well, yeah, okay, Will, but fuck, we could get in a car crash today and die. None of this would matter. Right. Or I could fucking kill you myself if you don't listen to me.
Yeah.
But that's the hard part about communication is just understanding hey, look, we can influence our battlefield more than we think if we try to game plan this the best we can and influence where we can the best that we can. And if we feel like something could be coming, hey, let's prepare for that. And if it doesn't happen, great. It's okay that we prepared. It's not wasted time. We're just practicing. But I think that was one of the hard parts is I would communicate things to you. But because nothing immediately happened that was on your palate, it was almost like, are we gaming the game here? Kind of, but no.
Well, and
right?
for me, it was, at least in the beginning, not even seeing like I get the relevance, but okay, but in this situation, it really is just this. For example, your kid doesn't tie their shoes, right?
Motherfucker.
Okay, is it the laces and the little bow and around the tree thing, or is it the bigger meaning and the bigger just the more things that can happen because of that stupid untied shoe? That yes, there's a million things that could happen by not tying your shoes. And if it's all presentable or preventable by just tying your damn shoes.
Yeah.
Right? And the details, paying attention to the details.
Right. And you're never going to be less of a person by preparing. So I'm glad you used that example because I talk to my daughter about that all the time. There was a couple times she had her shoes untied and then, and she was like, it was so sad too, bro. I'm such a mean dad sometimes. I got this video from Kate and they were hanging out outside the school walking. Kate had the stroller. Yeah. She was like, hey, we're at the school picking up Chloe. And Chloe had her shoes untied in the fucking video and her head was down. Yep. She was looking at the sidewalk. I said, hey, sit her down. I'm going to talk to her when I get home. And she's like, what? And I go, hey, why aren't your shoes untied? And why are you looking at the ground? Because just prior to that, when I picked her up, I was about, so normally I park in this one spot. I got a very noticeable car compared to most soccer mom cars. Not that I don't love soccer mom cars. They're awesome. Mine's just different.
Yep.
I was 4 spaces down from where I normally am.
Yeah.
She came out of school, shoes untied again, looking at the ground. Didn't even see my car, 4 things. So I'm explaining to her, hey, What if something happens in your school and you can't run because you're tripping over your laces? Yeah. Hey, what if someone's trying to kidnap kids and because your fucking head's down where you walk everywhere, you're not paying attention? What if you're crossing a street and your head's down, you're not paying attention? Like, now, maybe she's never abducted. Maybe she never gets hit by a car. However, these habits now, what happens when she's 30 years old and she lives in New York on some apprenticeship and someone does try to mug her? But because she's got her head up and her head on a swivel and she's alert to what's going on, she prevents it. So you're never going to be less of a person by preparing for certain things. Now, just, like, there's obviously overkill with certain stuff. I don't need her counting her steps as she leaves the fucking school or something weird. However, tying your shoes and keeping your head up and your head on a swivel, man, and just being prepared. But
fundamentals.
Listen, man, that starts now. Yeah. That doesn't start when you're 30 and you're about, or you're 22 and you're going to go to New York for some apprenticeship and dad's losing his goddamn mind on you. No, it starts now. So with you and I, it's the same thing in business, man. We're in that very young stage of business. Our communication, and everywhere we have an opportunity to be prepared to either influence and prevent a certain situation, or, hey, maybe that never happens, but then because of our preparedness, something 5 years from now that we're not even thinking of also doesn't happen because of how prepared we are. That's where it's hard, man, because especially with every other stressor in business, sometimes you don't want to hear my mouth. Now, experience is fun because, like you said, and then something happens, and you were fucking right. It did take a couple times of me being right before you wanted to kind of hear me, and that's okay. Like, I'm okay with that.
Well, and I still heard you before, but it was definitely like received better, And now it's just that trust that if my phone's ringing or you're talking to me about something, that there's a reason for it, right?
Right.
So it is received much better.
I appreciate that. What else was I going to say? I had something to that I was going to add to that.
Oh boy, I can only imagine.
No, nothing bad. Nothing bad.
Yeah.
One time we had a discussion. Yeah. And I remember slamming your door one time.
You're always talking about me slamming the door.
I know.
You finally slam put all it on here. I do not. So slamming doors is not my thing.
Don't you lie to
I'll
me.
break shit once in a while, but
all right, deal.
Yeah.
Like my heart.
More like a blender bottle or plate.
Yeah. No, so I do remember one time we had like an argument about something. All good, right? Just miscommunication, probably my fault. And then we went into a listing presentation with an agent, and we rocked it. So
that was your fault, for the record. That was your fault, but go ahead. Sorry.
Well, you didn't really speak to that guy how you should have, which made me back
it up like 5 things.
Okay, so if we back it up, you were a little bitch, so I had to fucking step up and do it for you.
Eli was trying to get a fucking deal done. That's what Eli was trying to do.
Okay, but he was not bringing a deal. Fuck that guy. Don't make me fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
However, your sphere, not my lane. But something that I want everyone to understand, whether it's relationships, friendships, business relationships, something that's super important is like our own code of ethics with business, right? So when you and I had a debate, the shit stopped. We went in, we did a listing presentation, we crushed, we did a great job for that agent. She never even knew anything was even a problem. And then when we got back in the car, we fucking hugged it out and jerked each other off, and we were fine.
Mission focused.
That's where, like, especially if you've got a business partner, those things have to be there. Like, you've got to have certain fundamentals that are just there, man. Like, so we do have to have commonalities. And it's the same thing in like a marriage, right? Like, you got to have certain things that you guys have as far as a relationship that are sanctioned, that are respected, that you both will see eye to eye on, or it does become conflict because you just get toxic with your discussions. You don't respect one another. You don't respect the actual, project or company or relationship that you're working toward. So now your communication becomes toxic. So it's not the confrontation that was unhealthy. It was how you handled it, and it was your ability to go toxic when you should have respect for it, right?
I think what helps there, man, is I think, when you and I have opposing points of view, we're always genuinely trying to see it from the other person's standpoint. Intent. Like when you're explaining something to me, even if I don't agree with it out of the gate, I'm trying to understand. I'm not trying, like when you're talking to me, I'm not just thinking of rebuttals or thinking of ways how that's not right. I'm trying to put myself in your shoes and be like, yep, I can see how he's thinking that right now, and I can see how that's correct.
And just the respect, right? So you've been in civilian world longer than me, So you've had some good perspective for me sometimes that I just need to hear, right? And then I've been a leader a lot longer than you. So sometimes when I'm speaking, there's certain decisions or a mindset or a difficult conversation with someone, you're able to just respect me as a leader and go, hey, you know what? Like, I haven't been in this realm as long as he has. Like, I've got to respect that and just kind of learn from what he's doing. But at the same time, like, I reciprocate that because there are perceptions that you have that I don't, that I can learn from. So I think ultimately just respecting one another and trusting that our intent is coming from the right place and kind of like respecting our lanes. Like, you don't have to tell me, Will, I've been in a civilian longer than you. Just fucking listen to me. You don't have to say that to me. I just know that and I respect it. And the same thing, like, I don't have to, for the most part, right? Like, I don't think I've ever had to, like, hey, you know, like one time I did, but it wasn't because I was explaining something. I wasn't throwing it in your face, but you kind of trust that I've been a leader for a long time and I've got some good intuition there. And if you don't quite see something when I do, that's okay too. A lot of that seriously plays out into how productive the conflict is and how it creates resolution and how it creates growth versus toxicity, right? Big deal.
Last thing, man. So all of that ultimately, brotherhood, dude. Brotherhood.
Oh, man. You're trying to hit me in the feels.
Brotherhood and loyalty, especially. Having, you know, I had like 2 older sisters growing up. I was the baby, never had that brother. Always wanted a brother. My mom always wanted me to have a brother. I always wanted a brother. And I never got that, right? So always grew up super independent, just doing my own thing, not relying on anybody for anything, almost to a fault, to where I would just take on more than I probably could and should have handled. And with you, man, like, that's where I really had that sense of like brotherhood and what it means to have somebody that has your back no matter what. Someone who would literally take a bullet for you. Dude, you get a call from me 3 a.m. I'm like, Will, hey, I just did some shit. There's a dead body involved. I need you. You'd be at my house.
I remember that time.
You'd be at my house in a heartbeat, man.
Oh, that didn't happen. Oh, yeah.
You'd be at my house in a heartbeat. And then loyalty as far as like our business partners,
not
man.
breaking up all the time.
Dude, that's
hey,
one
if
thing.
If you just can't understand this, I'm fucking out of here. Well,
Dude,
now you just changed the entire narrative of our relationship because now you're giving me an ultimatum to force myself to understand something. When in reality, if I don't understand it, that's okay. It just means we've got to grow. It just means we need more time on something to understand it. But if you throw ultimatums out there, it's like, well, fuck, man. Okay, I guess I agree because I don't want to like ruin this relationship. But I tell you what, you keep saying that, and it's just gonna damage us. You know, like that's a hard place to be.
Well, and that's something that I try like with my wife.
By the way, because I'm saving you from using your wife as an example right now.
It was a good one.
Megan, what up, girl? I got your back. A lot of time, and I've said that before to people. I can't remember what context I've said it. And I've said it when I've tried to be productive. Like, hey, we just can't work together if you don't understand this. Like. Because I'm probably speaking about a character flaw of someone. I'm trying to speak of like a staple to business. However, there's no good way to say that. And a lot of times if you find yourself saying that, it's probably more like you're running out of tools on how to explain something to someone. So you're reverting to that. And if it's in your relationship or your business partner, if it's something that's not a character flaw, if your business partner lies to you and steals money, I get it.
Different.
But at that point, you're probably just leaving them. You're not telling them if they don't stop doing that, you're going to leave them. You're probably just going to leave them. But for the most part, when you're having that conversation, it's probably not a character flaw, which means you just got to find a better way to communicate so they can understand you. Giving an ultimatum, it's just hard to do that, man. I've made that mistake before. It never really comes out. Even when I try to say it good and say, hey, I'm not threatening. But if you and I can't see this, like, I don't know how this is going to work. You can say it like that. Yeah. Listen, that's like me saying, hey, Kate, no threatening you here. But if you don't understand this, I'm just going to sleep with other people. What the fuck did you just say? So no matter how good you try to say that, there's just no good way to say that. And really, you got to look at yourself on, am I articulating appropriately? Should I take a step back and talk about it tomorrow? Should I find a different way to articulate it? You're probably running out of tools because you're giving ultimatums, and you should just look at that, you know? And again, if it is so harsh that you're saying that, maybe there's a character flaw there with your business partner or someone that you're in a relationship with, and then you shouldn't be there at all, which means you shouldn't even have to have a conversation. Just go your separate way.
Well, what I can tell you is like conversations are 100 times more productive when you have that baseline of that mutual understanding of, hey, we're good, right? We're having a discussion, we're having an argument, we're having a conflict, but you and I, we're good.
100%.
And that's like, that just takes so much weight off your shoulders, and you can think clear, you can articulate better. That's one thing I think we've been really good at. My wife and I, anytime we have a conflict, I try and say, hey, we're good.
Yeah.
But let's talk about this, right? So
your wife has a baller TikTok. Your wife's TikTok is so awesome. If I knew the screen name of that TikTok, I'd be putting that shit out right
now. Corinna_Roses.
She don't need your ass. That TikTok is baller,
no,
boy.
Hey, you know I'm doing that now so she can put me on down the road, bro. I'm be like, hey, babe, I put you on our podcast. You got to give me a shout out on your TikTok.
Her shit is so cool. I love showing that to you every day.
But dude, that brotherhood, man,
right.
like, fucking crying together, winning together, everything that we do together. Yeah. That's game changer in business.
Yeah, like, hey, I could call
dude.
you a bitch, but if anybody else calls you a bitch, I'm going to fuck him up.
Yeah, dude.
That's kind of like a funny way to put it, but there has to be, man. And you have that in the Marine Corps, man. Like, not only did we see ourselves as an outcast amongst other branches of military, you know, we were also preparing to go to fight battle, which obviously, like, black, white, Hispanic, Jewish, Christian, whatever, man. Like, hey, we're all we got, you know. That stuff just goes to the wayside. We're either going to be here and work together as a team and come home, or we're not. And that's how you're training and how you're preparing, man. And then even in addition to that, just a chip on our shoulder that we had toward other branches, you know, like, I know they hate it. And Jocko talks amazing about Marines. Like, there's some guys out there that have had experience with them, and they understand their proficiency and the level of excellence and the culture, and they openly speak, you know, about how they just love that. And then there's other people that just they water it down, or they want to, you know, no, every branch is like that. Listen, I care for every branch wholeheartedly. But god damn it, listen, dude, Marines are some motherfuckers, bro. They'll fight each other over some shit. Like, it's just a different breed, man. It's a different. I can't speak to every era. It was different in my era because it was a time of war. So I, you know, like, just when people were choosing certain things, you know, like, yeah, man, the guys that not only chose the Marine Corps but chose to go infantry. There's just a different. Air in that squad bay of infantrymen during that time, and you know, I think it's been like that since the beginning. And again, to kind of recap with my own father, kind of like defending the Marine Corps over me, to make sure it's for the right reasons. You know, like, the one reason, and this isn't just rumor. Like, you've heard of this, you've kind of felt that in your own life before you even knew me. Like, there's just this thing about the Marine Corps, man, and there's been famous people that have been exposed to it that have talked about it. It can't be out there for that long, man, and it not be true. Yeah. You know, like, there's people just know, man, like, that's where you go to just be the baddest motherfucker on the planet. And I'm not saying that there's not bad dudes in every branch. The Marine Corps is just different, dude. It's just, I wish I had a word for it.
Well, dude, and that's just being able to be around you and, like, just kind of feel that, again, indirectly. Getting that little chip on your shoulder, wanting to be the baddest motherfucker. Like, of course, whatever that means to you, right? Like, as a
I want to
business,
win. Well, I want to win at fucking everything, man. Like, but I think where some of the wisdom comes in is, like, even like, if that's how I feel about my Marine Corps, it doesn't mean that I put anybody down. And this is where, like, some Marines that are 20 years old and they just graduated School of Infantry and they got a chip on their shoulder, this is where they can go get a little drunk in San Diego and act like an asshole, okay?
Shit,
and now you're an asshole. Oh, Marines are assholes. I get it. It's just being conveyed the wrong way. As you grow and mature, and as you build your layers in life, you know, you understand it. And again, so you can have that chip and that pride and understand, like, this is the Corps that I'm a part of, and it is true whether you like it or not. Like, it's true. This is what the Marine Corps is. It's unique. It's different. And if we were all dog breeds, we're pit bulls, 100 fucking 1,000%, right? Like, but you don't have to disrespect anybody from other branches. You don't have to treat anybody lower because they chose something different than you. Like, because what they wanted for themselves is different, and that's okay. And everything is subjective to being the baddest per se, or whatever it is.
It's whatever you.
I think that's where the wisdom comes in, man. It's like, the reason why I've got no problem, like, with other branches and this and that is, like, I do understand, like, look, dude, there's shitty Marines. There's guys that go in and do a bad job. Yeah, you had great initiative and this is where you want to come, but you chose to be a fuckhead. So you're a fuckhead, right? Like, and you give the Marine Corps a bad name. so just as much as there's bad Marines in a very unique, prideful organization, there's also great guys in other organizations that are not, quote unquote, the Marine Corps. So I think as you start to learn that, man, like, it's all good.
Yeah.
You know, like, you can have your pride and your chip on your shoulder, you know, and feel that way about yourself or about your Corps, and also understand, like, there's also just no need and no space to break anybody down or put anybody down while feeling like that.
Well, and I think
sometimes when you're younger, you do that.
That's what I've really liked about that, because that's honestly why I was fearful of having that chip or being confident, because I was afraid that it would change too much of what I am, because I don't want to put people down. I don't like making other people feel uncomfortable or less than or whatever. That's why I had gone so much the other side. The pendulum swung too much to the other side.
Fucking weenie.
But after with you, I'm finding that balance and what that means to me. Like, I want to be the baddest motherfucking dad, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean being the most liked dad. That doesn't mean being an asshole dad either.
Right.
Same in business. Like, I do like making people feel good. I like seeing people smile. I like making them feel good and gain confidence in themselves. However, I don't want people to think they can walk on me, or that I just tell them good job because they know I'm nice and they know it's not a good job.
Yeah, man. Like Simon Cowell, right? Feeling. Like, we talk about American Idol. We're funny sometimes. If Simon says he did a good job, oh shit.
Dude,
oh shit. Simon
it means
signed
something.
Off on you.
Yeah.
It means something. And yeah, he's an asshole, but there's times Simon Cowell also has some very endearing moments with people over that show. And it's the same thing, man. And like, when you talk about parenting, and you got to go about it and how you choose. And I'm a big advocate, man. Sean Tosh had a post not too long ago, and he said, proof's in the pudding, not in the recipe, right? And he was quoting somebody else, but I like that, because for me, it's like, hey, man, proof is in result. So when we're in sales, right, we have a real estate company, and we have to produce sales. So none of what I say fucking matters if we don't produce, dude. But we fucking do, which means people can only say so much, right? Same thing with like fatherhood. You know my daughter. I'm not her best friend. I'm her daddy. But I tell you what, that girl is so partial to me, it's not even funny. My little 9-year-old daughter's got my back to an extent that people would probably be shocked
Dude,
at
when
what
she's
she would
16,
do.
17, 18, she's going to be a...
So again, right,
man.
like, when you have successful kids and good kids, it's, that's the pudding.
She's going to be locked on, yeah.
Right? Like, that's the pudding when you have a business that produces, when you have a Marine Corps for the last 244 years going places nobody wants to go and fucking putting it to the enemy, man, putting it on them and eliminating them at the level that we do with less, man, with less weaponry. Like,
Day
it's
hard,
$0. Dude, it's hard to say, like, they're just not the baddest dudes. And like Jocko, Navy SEAL, people know that guy. I really loved one of his podcasts, man, because he put some things in perspective. Because when people talk about other branches, and, well, yeah, but what about the Rangers, or, what about Navy SEALs? Yeah, you're talking about elite. Motherfucker, I'm talking about the infantry. I'm not talking MARSOC. I'm not talking reconnaissance. I'm not talking scout snipers yet. I'm talking about motherfucking infantry and how proficient and brave and courageous and chip on their shoulder. I want to fucking do my part. We're talking the bar, bro. Remember when Jocko went over the fitness report for Marines?
Crazy. Yeah.
And he was like, this is not some elite. This is for your basic Marine. And then he's also spoken about the infantry separately, man, about how proficient they were at the infantry level, not the top 1% spec op level, at the fucking infantry level. It's just a different breed. So again, when we talk about proof being in the pudding, it's just hard to argue certain things, man. And I'm super prideful of that. But again, I think the maturity comes down to, as much as I'm passionate, as you guys can hear, about the Marine Corps and my experiences and whatever may be. Yep, we're different. God made us pit bulls. You might be a German Shepherd or a Labrador, and that's cute. You're just not a pit bull, man.
It's all good.
And that's okay, because you probably also didn't sign up to be that. Which that's the other thing, man. Like, have pride in, if you're a veteran, have pride in what you did for why you did it. Maybe you had no desire to be that. Great. So don't, and then don't, but also don't take any harm, when guys that are from that claim that. Because that's why they decided to go. And if you guys have any understanding of like what it takes to join during that era in that specific MOS, what do you expect that guy to have? No chip? You expect that guy to just be a super nice guy with no tenacity? Like, you joined during a time of war and you joined the infantry of the Marine Corps. What the fuck do you expect from that guy? Matter of fact, you should be thankful that he is like that. because ultimately, right, that's what wins wars. But the maturity behind all of that is just embracing everybody in all branches at all levels, understanding everybody has a role. Accept and be proud of your role. If you're an intel guy, whatever you were, like, hey, dude, that's all good, man. They're fucking needed. Like, you need intel. You need air support. Like, there's things that you need that coincide with combined arms, okay? Like, it's just needed. So, you know, I think sometimes guys that weren't in that could take more pride in what they did because it is fucking needed, and just have some pride in that, man. So, not breaking anybody down, but just having the pride in yourself, you know, as far as what you did.
Well, dude, there's a ton of lessons that come out of that, man, and a ton that I'm exposed to every day. And for you guys that are listening to this podcast or watching this podcast, I love this platform because there are very few guys like Will, like Jocko, like those people who have that sort of elite level experience, right? And are thoughtful enough and articulate enough to be able to use that in this positive light to help, you know, talk about their experiences and how we can get better because of it, and the stuff that they went through and they learned. So, you know, this podcast absolutely is the best platform for you guys to be able to get a taste of what I've learned. And, you know, just by listening to these long podcasts and listening to their thought process and their experiences and how they've applied that to their life, guys, you're going to get fucking better. You're going to get fucking better if you're receptive and you're not a little bitch and you're not going to get your feelings hurt, and you can put your feelings aside for the sake of the mission and the greater good, which is you finding success in your life and business and family.
100%, right? And another great lesson from Tosh, right, is, you know, he had a podcast on it, and I know I speak about him a lot, but he's a good dude, man. Super solid podcast. And he did one. Remember that one I spoke to you about where he talks about not letting your emotions have majority vote, right? Well, feelings and emotions, they all kind of coincide together. So, yeah, putting feelings aside and things like that, it's just audit yourself and just wonder, like, hey, am I allowing my feelings or my emotions to have majority vote within the majority of my circumstances? And if so, where could I better myself? Like, sometimes it is okay to let your emotions have majority vote, depending on what it is. A lot of times it's not, you know, but a lot of times our behaviors are just subconscious and we're not even paying attention to how we react to stuff. And then even when we do react, our emotions or our feelings tend to show first. You know, you have to really audit yourself and go, hey, hold on a minute. Like, is that really the best tactic here, or could I be better about what I'm doing? You know, and that's in your personal relationships, and especially in business relationships. I think when they say, like, hey, business is business, don't be emotional. No, I care about my business. I care about people that are around it. You do some dumb shit, I might be slightly emotional and tell you to fuck off and don't ever see me again. But I'm also okay in that theater if that happens. But there are a lot of times where I do understand that people are not being malicious, or something is misunderstood. And even though it hurts my feelings, or even though I take it personal, I've got to understand that that's not necessarily how it was intended. And I've got to be really, really careful as far as when I allow those feelings to have majority vote versus something else that could be more productive. You know, so I think ultimately that's a big lesson that everyone could take away from.
So I'm excited you guys got to listen to a little bit of this today. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, definitely go to iTunes Podcast, Spotify. We're almost on Google Play. We're on all the other platforms. Definitely check it out, guys. You can learn a ton. I know.
Happy birthday, Marines. Happy and veterans.
Thank you, veterans.
Happy Veterans Day today. Yesterday. Marines, happy birthday. We love you.
That's right. We'll see you guys later this week.
Yes, we will.
All right. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for listening.
Guys. You bet.